Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video, I will feature a little YouTube clip, 1 minute and 38 seconds, in which we have a State Department spokesperson, Matthew Miller, just ignoring the question asked by a journalist over there. Now, you say, well, things happen. He ignored the question, even though I don't know if he heard it. Remember, by his job, he has to answer questions over there. He avoids it because it's very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. So I will play this video clip, and at minute 1:14 or so in this video, you're gonna hear the journalist or whomever asked the question. He's gonna hear him ask him, Matthew Miller, the question, what gives you the right to lecture other countries? And he ignores him and just moves to the next whomever is gonna play ball with him. So this is the video, and let's play it. This is from October 8, 2024.
So Israel is still poised to strike Iran, and in July, Blinken said that Iran was 1 to 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. So I guess for all we know, they might have one by now. And meanwhile, in Ukraine, they've struck deep within Russian territory several times, as deep as 300 miles from the border. And in that case, we don't have to guess. We know that Russia has the largest nuclear arsenal on the planet, as many as 6,000 warheads. And so one of the risks of arming militaries that are striking in the territories of nuclear powers is that one of those gets deployed, and then it could escalate very quickly from there. So it's rarely discussed, but it's important to address that the nuclear risk is real, and it could very abruptly mean the end of what humans have worked for thousands of years to collectively achieve. And us today are very lucky to live with the fruits of that achievement, and I feel like we're treating the risks kind of brazenly. So my question for you is, we often hear in response to these concerns that, well, Putin, Khomeini, they're war criminals, they're terrorists, as if they're too inherently evil or immoral for us to negotiate with. But meanwhile, this administration has financed a genocide in Gaza for the last year, and every day you're up there denying accountability for it.
Question.
So, what gives you the right to lecture other countries on their moral?
So if you have a policy question for me, I'm happy to take it. If you want to give a speech,
No, but
there are plenty of places in Washington where you can give a speech.
Yeah, but people are sick of the bullshit in here. I mean, it is a genocide. You are abetting it,
another question.
and you are risking nuclear war in Ukraine.
Plenty of other places to give a speech.
So, and I'm gonna play for you this again when he's gonna ask the question, what gives you the right? He said, if you have a policy question, yeah, that's a policy, because you name certain individual in a certain way, and then people that the journalist, the guy who asked the question, he says, yeah, but you fund this, you fund that. How is your policy made out of? Based on what kind of consideration? This baboon, Matthew Miller, he listened to the question until it turned into the Middle East. Then it was all over for him. He knew he can't speak about it. So let me play this again, just where he asks the question.
Evil or immoral for us to negotiate with. But meanwhile, this administration has financed a genocide in Gaza for the last year, and every day you're up there denying accountability for it. So, I mean, what gives you the right to lecture other countries on their moral?
So if you have a policy...
What gives you the right to lecture other countries on their morals? So this was the question. Remember, this guy, Matthew Miller, he is an appointed bureaucrat. So he was picked, appointed, he's got a job for the American people. So he works for the American people. He works for the US government. So how did this work? You have the baboons, which is us. We go and vote. We elect another person who represents us, in this case, the President of the United States of America. He's the elected official now. He puts together a cabinet, right? He puts his staff. How does he do it? He appoints guys, and they go in front of the Congress, and they get over there, they get, confirmed or not confirmed. That means they say, yeah, you can go over there, whatever. But if your party is in charge, you're going to get confirmed. It's just a baboon show when you go over there. Let's say it's a Republican president and you got the House and let's say the Congress basically House and the Senate, you have it in control. You bring your stuff over there in front of these guys, not all of them, some commissions, and you get confirmed. Why? It's based on, they vote on party lines. So you get confirmed as a, let's say, Secretary of State, which in this case is Blinkenstein. Blinkenstein makes good policies. This is the foreign ministry of the United States of America, like Lavrov. Well, Lavrov is Russian. Lavrov will have no other interest than Russia. Now, Blinkenstein, on the other hand, he is our foreign minister or Secretary of State, but on the other hand, he also has a club membership somewhere else. Now, this guy, Blinkenstein, he appoints this kind of bureaucrats, like this baboon here, spokesperson, Matthew Miller, and he's appointed. He's taken, and he applies for the job, and he's over there. Now, this guy's job is like Maria Zakharova. Remember Maria Zakharova, the spokeswoman of the Russian Federation, of the Foreign Ministry? So when she comes in front of these baboons who ask questions, sometimes rude, sometimes, forcefully, sometimes the way you should ask questions, which is straight, keep these guys' feet to the fire. She answered them. She's very smart. She's very fast. She doesn't how do you call it? I'm not going to talk to you because I don't like your tone. Like, for instance, Karen Jean-Pierre of the White House spokesperson. Remember? So these guys, their job is to talk, to explain policies, to explain directions of the, in this case, State Department. So what does these guys do? He just runs away. He just dismisses if you have a question or a speech. When you ask a question, just watch this kind of briefings. When they have questions, when they ask questions, most of the time, these guys put it in a context. Before they ask the question, some of them indeed make some speeches and so on. Some of them are rude, but it's very strange that they were rude with Trump, but not with Biden. It's only one guy who sometimes tried to do something with Karen Jean-Pierre, there's Ducey from Fox News, but it's mild compared with, let's say, the rude Acosta. Remember Acosta from CNN? Now that was rude. I'm not saying you should not press the politicians. That's your job as a journalist. Ask them, figure things out. Why? You have to keep their feet to the fire. You work for the truth. You're not in their team. So it's very, very strange how these guys behave with this administration, but with the other one, they were so rude. And not only that, I've seen many videos with Trump being asked rude questions, and he said, don't be rude, and so on. Well, you can be rude. That's your decision. Did you ask the question? Yes, you have to answer it. This guy doesn't answer it. Remember, this is an employee of ours. We, from our taxes, pay this guy's salary, which I bet is about $180,000 a year. This weasel, he has the duty to answer the questions. How idiotic they are, but he ignored the question. Why? He knew he either lies, he BS's it, or he tells the truth. If he tells the truth, then he's going to lose his job. Just an example. That's why I picked this one, just to see how the guy asked the question. This guy did not like the question. He just moved to the next one. But hey, we live in free, how do you call it? Freedom of speech, freedom of the press. Yeah, you can ask questions. I don't have to answer it. I don't have to be accountable to you or to the American people. I would have liked to hear what his answer was, what the policies was based on what kind of moral alignment. I would like to hear that. Well, he said, no, Emil, I don't care what you like to hear. I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, you pay my salary, but I don't answer. Well, you'll be fired. If someone works for you and is not doing the job that he applied, you appointed the guy for the job, you fire him. You get someone who does the job. Nothing happens here. And you tell me about the free world and free... That was a pertinent question the guy asked over there. Pertinent question. You call these guys like that. You fund this and this and that. What gives you the right? Why would you do this? I'm not going to talk to you. I don't have to. Well, you do. Well, my friends, here is just a little example of how this government that we're supposed to, defend with our lives in case that's a war over there, because they're going to send us over there. They're going to send us. They're not going to send their children. They're going to be thousands of miles away from where they send us. And what are you going to do? For Mr. Matthew Miller, are you going to send your child? your husband, your brother, your sister. Are you gonna do? I won't. I won't. Why? This guy is just a little proof that this guy just disconsider us. As long, this is not a, I don't answer when I like it. I answer when I like the question. I don't answer when I don't like the question. It's not like that. You answer it. He chose to ignore. You didn't ask. The question was there. Well, he's maybe a baboon, which I think he is, but he's a sneaky baboon. You know, weasels are, they have a, how do you call it? The weasels doesn't mean that they are stupid. They just choose weak ways of avoidance, or to win something. Break the rules, avoid responsibility, accountability. This is what Miller does here. I don't know if he's stupid or not. I heard him a few times speaking the same questions and answers, and it didn't give me the impression he's stupid. But he is a weasel. He avoided. He's not truthful. And that's the government that we are supposed to pay taxes to, so they can distribute the taxes, and we should trust them with the money, with the military. No, my friends, no. I mean, you can do that if you want, but that's wrong. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.